Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to show you my 2019 bullet journal setup. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe. I'm Maria and I normally do vlogs on my travels and also on my day-to-day life as a university student in Germany. So without further ado, let's get right into it. This is my bullet journal for 2019 and I assume for at least the next couple of years. This is a new one. I've got this from Amazon. The brand is called Lemon and it's actually really nice and really thick, if you can see. It's just plain black but with a strap and also with a pen holder, which is my requirement. And the cover is also made of faux leather, which I like because it's a little bit water resistant and it won't be dirty quite as much. So in a close-up, I'm going to show you exactly what's inside of my bullet journal for 2019, like what I have on there, all the sections and stuff like that. But first I want to talk to you about the stationery that I'm going to be using in this bullet journal so that you're not going to wonder about them. I will put a link down below for the bullet journal and for the stationery that I'm going to be using in this bullet journal so that you can go take a look and purchase it if you want to. Now this bullet journal is a little bit different from my previous bullet journal. If you haven't checked out my 2018 bullet journal setup, I will put a link down below also for that video and you can see the difference between this bullet journal and the one that I had before. So the most obvious difference is the pages. If you can see, I don't know if it's too bright for you to see, this bullet journal is actually with dotted paper, typical of the bullet journal that you can see like all around Pinterest or YouTube really, but I've never really had one before. This bullet journal cost me €9.99, so about 10 euros, and I thought it was a pretty good deal considering this is a pretty thick bullet journal to begin with. The pages itself feels very premium and feels very thick, a lot thicker than my current one. But I have found that with my brush pen, particularly with the darker colors, it can kind of like bleed out to the previous page so that it's a little bit noticeable on the back side, as you can see here. Maybe in the close-up you're probably going to see it a little bit more clearly, but I'm just going to have to warn you that although it feels very premium and very thick, it kind of let some of the ink kind of like bleed out. But it is a very good alternative to the typical lifetime journals that you see like all around YouTube and stuff like that, because this costs half as much, and that was a really big selling point for me. So yeah, let's talk about the stationeries now. So first I'm going to talk about the pen that I am using for like the borders and also like all the little insight that goes on into it, like the actual details that I wrote down for my day-to-day like to-do list, which is this pen. This is the Muji 0.25 gel ink pen. You can buy this online on Muji, but I find that it's a lot cheaper if you just go to a Muji store. I don't have a Muji store near me. The next one that I have is in Berlin, so every time I go to Berlin I make the effort to go to a Muji store to purchase one, because this is really good. My writing is really tiny, as you can probably see later on in the close-up, so I find that with a really fine tip pen you can write so much better. But I don't use this on a day-to-day basis like for taking notes or stuff like that. This is just special for my bullet journal and also for my traveling journal, but I do really love this one. Next I have a section of my colored pens. This is the Zebra Sarasa Clip 0.5 colored pens. These are like gel ink pens and they are colored. These are amazing, guys. If you can buy these, go ahead and buy it. They have a few different tips. So they have the 0.5, which is what I have, and then they also have the 0.7, and they also have like the 1.0 if you like the thicker lines. I prefer the 0.5. These are amazing. This lasts forever and they will not die on you. Like literally I've had the red and the green one ever since before I came to Germany, which is like crazily enough more than 4 years ago now, and it hasn't died on me. They still have a lot of ink left. I love this for like underlining notes on my usual uni notes, but normally I use this as like the date and the day on my daily setup for my bullet journal, so that they're really colorful. I only have 5, but when I go back to Indonesia, I'm obviously going to purchase more because I love these. Next, I have a brand new addition to my stationery lineup for my bullet journal, which are my brush pens. This is from Edding, and I got this from Amazon. As I've said, I'm going to put all of the links that I can find below. I think you can actually buy the Sarasa clip pens on Amazon also, just not in the colors that I have. Like, they have all these different colors, so I'm just gonna put all of that link down below. But let's talk about the Edding brush pen. So this I got from Amazon, as I said. I think it was around 10-ish, 11 euros if I'm not mistaken. The brush pens came in 10 colors and a snazzy little slide clip thing, plastic thing. Okay, I can't even describe it. It's just slide out, and then you can have like the colors here. They're really good actually. You can definitely do like a really thick stroke and a little thin strokes, but you really do have to control the amount of pressure that you put on them, because it can really get thick quite quickly if you're not careful. It takes a little bit of practice, but I've never used any other brush pens before, so this was a new experience. This is the Edding 1340 brush pen. I'll put the link down below, as I said. The colors are great with some exceptions. So I've used most of these except for the yellow one, because the yellow one basically has nothing. You can't really see it on my bullet journal anyway. You can tell that there's color, but not enough that you can actually use it for writing. Maybe if you're just like coloring in something that you can, then you can see it, but I can't use it for what I need to do for my bullet journal. But the other colors are great. Some colors are a little bit more intensive than others. Like the dark blue here is really intensive, like it's really dark, but the light blue here are actually really light and really nice. So it's kind of like different all across the colors. It just depends. You're just gonna have to like see it. I try to use like as much colors as possible in my bullet journal, so you can see like the differences between the intensities and the colors and how they look on my bullet journal. So let's go take a look at my 2019 bullet journal setup. So guys, as I've already shown you, this is my bullet journal. So let's go ahead and open this bullet journal up. So first I have the yearly overview of 2019. As you can see, I did this in a very plain manner. I just used the Faber-Castell silver pen to write down 2019, and that's pretty much it. And then this is an overview of all the months in 2019, like a calendar. I messed up a little bit right there, if you can see that, but yeah, I can never be perfect, so let's just move on. Next, I have a new addition to my bullet journal setup. I've never had this before. So first I have my wish list. I didn't include a wish list for my 2018 setup, but I did use it like on November's, and I found it pretty helpful to just keep track of what I want and like what's next on my to-buy list, so to say. So I included that in my 2019 setup. And as for the books read, I decided to go a little bit fancier and do a real type of like bookshelf thing that you see on Pinterest all the time. I plan on filling it out as I go, but I don't even know if I'm gonna read as much book in the next year or so. New books anyway. I tend to reread a lot of my books. But yeah, I thought this was cute, and I even included a little window seat thing with the pillows on it, which I thought was cute. Next, I have an overview for my semesters, like uni-wise. Here on the left side, I have the winter semester, which is this winter. And then on the summer semester, I have it from May to August. Technically, my summer semester starts in April, but sometimes they overlap, like the scheduling, so I still have them side by side. Usually I do it one semester at a time, but I figured this kind of works out, and then I'll just have the next winter semester later on my setup, like when I actually need it. So here is my overview. I just have the months and then the dates and stuff, and then I mark it in a brush pen on the days that I'm scheduled to have some sort of exam or practicals or anything like that that is major. So I just wrote it all down at the beginning of the semester, and so that I can better prepare for my study plan. Next, I have my actual study plan, which is still empty. I tend to fill this normally like 8 weeks before my exam starts. So I'll just list down like the weeks and then what I plan to do on that week to prepare for my exam. This is still empty because I actually have my study plan for the next coming exam season on my old bullet journal, so I'm not gonna fill that out until I actually need it for next summer semester. And on the right side, I have my score tracker. As you can see, I misspelled tracker. It's missing a C, but that's okay. We'll just pretend that it never happened. I'm just going to transfer the scores that I've had since the beginning of my bachelor studies, and also filling out the scores that I'm going to have this semester and next semester as well, so that I can keep track of my scores and my GPA. The way I do this is just normally list down all the exams that I have for a particular semester and then the score that I got from it. And that's basically it. It's technically also online, so I don't need to do it, but it's nice to be able to see it and keep track of my scores. Next, I have a more YouTube and blog related page. So here I have a YouTube tracker. As you can see, I did not misspell tracker on this page. And then I have a content ideas on this page. So for the YouTube tracker, I just put down the month, the number of subscribers that I had at the end of that month, and then the views, the total views, the average duration, the watch time, and the best performing video for the month. Yeah, I thought this was a nice way to just keep track of my stats. Although stats is not everything, definitely, but it's just nice to like see how far I've come. And I've done this on my old bullet journal as well, ever since I began YouTube. So that was kind of a nice reminder. And on this content ideas page, I put down 2 side-by-side like columns. First is for YouTube, and then the next is for my blog. So on the YouTube and blog side, I normally just write down what ideas I have in my head when it pops out, so that I can like look back on it and do them when I have the time or when I feel like it, which is basically how I do my blog and YouTube content. Not the best way probably, but that's how I do it. So this is really just for inspirations, really. Next, I have my actual monthly spread. So this is the January, and as you can see, I have the calendar for January, and then I wrote down January on that side. And then for the new stuff, I have my habit tracker, which is pretty new. I started this on last November, and I found it to be pretty useful. On it, I have my Instagram, my laundry, my cleaning, my meditation, and then the no spend days. So basically, as I do all of these things, I'll just mark it down with my brush pen so that I can better keep track on how much I'm doing it or how little I'm doing it, so that I can like evaluate what's working, what I need to work on, and so on and so forth. The next pages are still pretty much empty because this is where I'm gonna do my daily like bullet journaling. I always leave it empty because I do it as I go along. I don't want to have like a set weekly stuff because I find that I I can't keep up with them, so I just make it up as I go along. I'm actually going to show you like what it looks like normally so that you can have an idea of what my weekly daily setup looks like. So this is my weekly daily setup from my old bullet journal. As you can see, it's a little bit different. Not a dotted bullet journal page, it's just like a standard square things. So on it, I usually have like my daily to-do list. I do it like on a daily basis as I need it. But for like future planning for the week, I usually put it down here at a week at a glance, so I can like schedule ahead if I want to. And then sometimes when I need to buy stuff like grocery lists, I will put this like to buy section just like randomly on there. I don't do it all the time, but it kind of helps when I need to like shop for a few days in advance. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I do this like with colored pens and then just my Muji pen. So yeah, that's pretty much it for my bullet journal setup. So guys, that is it for my video today. I really hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments down below. And also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!